Hey Sag, happy birthday to Sagittarius sun signs. This reading though is also for Sagittarians of any kind. So maybe your moon is in Sagittarius, maybe your Venus, your Mars, maybe your North Node, your midheaven, or maybe you just came upon the reading because of the title or by chance, or just are particularly interested in what Sagittarius is doing in your life and in your chart at this time. The house that it rules for you, or where Jupiter is located. Jupiter is getting ready to transit into Capricorn tomorrow. So yeah, there's a chance that that is of particular interest to everyone. Those areas of their chart would be of particular interest to all of us at this time. And I do plan to do a collective reading concerning that energy as well. So let's see what December 2019 looks like for Sagittarians in general. I see the Two of Swords and the Six of Swords so far, but we'll see if they resurface for us. The Five of Swords wants to be the first card in the reading. So there are some mental battles. Some mental stagnation for some of you. So internal mental battles with yourself going on for some of you around this time. Or just in December 2019 in general. So maybe this hasn't started for you yet for some of you. We are going to do a full Celtic cross for you today, Sagittarius. And as I keep saying, the messages, yes, are for December 2019. But they also, as always, may just be for whenever they find you and resonate. Sometimes that does happen. Especially if we are looking for a particular kind of reading or reading from a certain reader, something like that. Okay, so we have a lot of cards out for you already. I normally don't do a full Celtic cross, but since it is your birthday, Sag, and I am not ready to do your second reading yet, we'll just go ahead and do a lengthy full Celtic cross, lengthier. And I do want to do a second reading for you as a happy birthday present. So if you have a preference other than a love reading, let me know. Normally I just do a reading that is specifically about your love life, although this general reading may read that way for you specifically as well. Yeah, let me know if you would prefer something else, because I haven't 100% decided yet. But if no one else prefers anything, that might be what we go with. In addition to this mental stagnation, these mental battles, maybe verbal battles with other people that you're facing in December 2019, Sag, there's also the energy of the Chariot crossing that, a Cancerian who's very significant to you this month for some of you, but I wouldn't get too hung up on the signs ever. We all have, all those energies in our charts somewhere, so I would never get too hung up on the signs. This is also just confident, energetic, forward movement with youthful energy, with determination, with a goal in mind that will be reached one way or another, right? A sort of come hell or high water feeling with the Chariot coming through. And then we have, in the root of the situation, the Page of Spears, the Page of Fire, intense, passionate messages perhaps, the Moon in the recent past, normally an indication that all is not what it seems. And we will talk more about all of this after I show them all to you. In your crowning thoughts, when your ego is quiet, we have the Eight of Pentacles, an energy of hard work. Hard work and earning. And then in the near future, the Ace of Pentacles, an earthly opportunity, likely due to this hard work, these long hours, right? That commitment there. Another 8 is in your inner world, so your higher thoughts and your inner world. It's the 8 of Swords, the 8 of air. Sometimes feeling like a victim of one's circumstances, but it can mean a couple of different things. Like I said, we'll expand. And those 8s are, I think, speaking of a movement toward prosperity, again, as a result of the combination of these long hours, this hard work, and this youthful energy and dedication here, right? Forward movement in spite of mental battles and maybe stagnation, and then this earthly opportunity probably offered to you from the divine in some way, shape, or form coming in the near future, sometime in December 2019, it seems, for most of you anyway. In your external world, your outer world, there is maybe a soulmate energy with the 6 of water, the 6 of chalices here. And then the 5 of chalices is actually your advice, the second 5. So 2 8s, 2 5s, 88 and or 55 may hold an additional message for you, or just may be particularly significant to you, in some way specific to you, right? With that as a piece of advice, you're advised to go ahead and mourn something or possibly someone for some of you and let go. Begin the mourning process or proceed with the mourning process, right? So that you can complete the mourning process and move forward. That is the advice that's coming through, but we'll expand again. And the 7 of Earth, the 7 of Coins, 7 of Pentacles here is the more distant future that you're looking at. Success. This is an energy of success to me. Success that still requires some patience. Success that is going to teach you the real definition of success, which is, it still requires some work. It may be the last stretch of work. It may not be very difficult work, but there is still some work required in order to harvest these goods that have grown here, for example, right? And that is the true definition of succeeding, of experiencing success, right? Is doing that final stretch of work, seeing that through. And then the bottom of the deck is the 6 of Swords, the 6 of air. So there's 2 6s here as well, with that 6 of Cups in your outer world and the 6 of air being really what this is about. So for some of you, there is a soulmate-like energy, like I said, around. That doesn't necessarily mean a romantic partner. It could be, but someone maybe from your childhood, someone that you have good memories with, nostalgia for. That certainly makes sense for some of us around the holiday season, December, maybe family coming in town, something like that, or you visiting someone, or just, people that you've known from the area, all coming back into the same town, right? Crossing paths perhaps with someone like that, or someone is seeing you that way, or both, with the 6 of chalices there in your external world. We may draw a couple of clarifiers for you here as well, Sag, and as I said, we're going to talk a lot more about this. I want to sit with the picture now that you know all of the cards for just a minute, and then we'll talk more. Okay, so in general, Sagittarians, this message is for those of you who are in the midst of overcoming struggle as you grow, as you change, as you face, I think, for a lot of you, competitors, competition, odds, circumstances that you have not yet learned how to thrive in. for some of you, it feels like you haven't even learned how to survive in certain aspects of it yet, right? But you are learning, and for this message is for those of you overcoming that struggle as you grow and change, accepting the losses that come along with that, and accepting the lessons and the opportunities that you are gifted. As you work toward prosperity. Dealing with that struggle, that change, and seeking balance on the way to finding your prosperity. In general, that's what we're looking at. And I think that the issue that needs addressed here is this Eight of Air, this Eight of Swords in the inner world, that feeling like a victim because of a loss. I think these mental battles for a lot of you are because of feeling like you have fallen short in some way. You didn't measure up to someone else, some competitor, and maybe it was an actual competitor, peer, something like that, someone like that, or perhaps it was, for a lot of you, someone who just seems to be very intense, very passionate, moving very quickly, seems to be progressing very quickly, right? Maybe even someone who wanted to work with you in some aspect, in some respect. But for a lot of others of you, it's just yourself. It's some aspect of yourself, trying to be better than you were, trying to be better than an old version of yourself, competing against your old score, your old, however you measure your success, Sag, competing against your old results, right? And for some of you, it was someone who actually identifies themselves as an Aries, Leo, or maybe another Sag specifically. But again, I would never get too hung up on the signs. It's just great when they confirm things for us, but we all have all the zodiac energies in our chart all the time and could show up as them at different times in different readings for different reasons, right? Maybe that part of our chart is activated or highlighted for some different reason. But whomever you were competing against, Sagittarius, whether it was a peer, a friend, an enemy, a frenemy, right? Or some aspect of yourself, some aspect of your circumstance for some of you, whomever you were competing against, it's left you doubting yourself. It's left you feeling insecure, questioning what you're doing, maybe questioning the path you're on entirely for some of you, questioning if you have the energy to keep up in this field, with this work, with this person, with this partner, with this project, with the momentum of the world at large. For some of you, that's the project, the vision is that large, is that grand. And in letting one specific loss cause that much mental anguish that it amounts to not only doubt and insecurities, but like we said at the beginning, maybe just stagnation. Some of you are sliding into this victim mentality that I said is really the thing that needs addressed here in your inner world. Feeling like you are less than or trapped by something or someone, right? Feeling unable to seeing only your limitations and not the opportunity to test them, to push them, to really realize that you can move them or move around them. And that in this specific case, in as far as these concerns, these limitations that you're circling around that are putting this paralysis on you, they're completely your own creation. You decide them, and you're deciding to keep them in a place that keeps you very uncomfortable because you're afraid or don't want to take responsibility. Some of you are maybe feeling embarrassed because of a loss, because of, having talked about you could do something by this year, or right by New Year's, by accomplish a certain level at said task, said project, whatever it is that is of the utmost concern for you. For some of you, it could be a romance. I'm talking like it's work or a project. It could be a romance. But I see here in the root of the situation enthusiasm, excitement, possibly a passionate, intense, fiery message, Sag. So someone may have wanted to include you in something that you thought you could handle, right? Some type of project. Or you may have received some type of message, maybe a Mercury retrograde X message, and you thought someone was really serious about the two of you getting back together, but then in the recent past you realized all was not what it seemed, either with this person who may have wanted to rekindle something with you, or start something with you, right? Or with this person who may have wanted to include you in a project. And if there wasn't someone else involved here at all, then this is just you getting very excited and inspired and energetic and enthusiastic about a project, right? But then still in the recent past, there's still this message of you came to realize that there were aspects of this project or message, right, that you didn't interpret correctly or didn't foresee, didn't anticipate, right? All was not what it seemed, and I think you've been disillusioned. The mystery has been revealed somewhat in the recent past, or at least the fact that there was unknown factors was revealed, right? And then there was the loss. Because you were dealing with the type of person, partner, or fleeting opportunity perhaps that came in and left just as quickly, or was some kind of competitor that you felt like you couldn't keep up with, right? For some of you specifically. And so this energy, this roaring energy that we see crossing you, again, could be a Cancerian, but this victor, this fierce, intense victor who often mows down others and obstacles in his path in order to get to whatever his or her goal may be at the time, right? For a lot of you, this may be someone else's energy crossing you that you've been dealing with, that is giving you this mental anguish, or you just feel bested by the task that you could not live up to. Like I said, for a lot of you, you're just dealing with an aspect of yourself. You wanted to beat that old score. You wanted to accomplish a certain goal by a certain deadline that you set for yourself, something to that nature. But in any case, you probably felt like you couldn't measure up in some instance, in some specific way. Like you may have been mowed down by the energy of the circumstance, the task, whomever, whatever you were competing against, overwhelmed by it. Like you were disillusioned and realized that you really never stood a chance. Maybe that inspired energy, that enthusiastic, excited energy that this all was rooted in was misplaced, was misguided, right? And you knew upon this loss, upon this feeling of being mowed down, mowed over, looked over, too small for the task in front of you, you knew that you needed to work more on your craft, whatever that may be for you specifically. You needed to put more hours in. For a lot of you, I'm feeling studying. Normally, this is an energy of practicing, but for a lot of you, more specifically, I mean studying, which doesn't always come through with the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Earth there. But whatever it is, practicing, studying, you knew that some hours, solo hours, some lonely hours needed to be put into honing this craft, right? To honing a talent for a lot of you, I think. And truly, I think also a lot of you could have seen this as an opportunity to bond with or connect with, network with like-minded individuals, kindred spirits, with this Knight of Fire turning up as our clarifier on the Five of Air here. So if you were competing with someone outside of yourself, is that someone that, you could network with, connect with in some way? Or if it was just an aspect of yourself where you see you're lacking and need help, is that an opportunity to network with someone, to connect with someone, to ask for help, or just to study an example, to look at and study an example, maybe, right? Observe an example even. This opportunity in the near future, as always with any of the aces, is just that, only an opportunity. You would have to take advantage of it. It is only a seed, maybe just an offering, a gift. It looks like a gift to me. It's one I think you should take advantage of, and it's one that, as it is the Ace of Coins and Pentacles, is a physical, earthly opportunity. I think we said already, it's a seed that needs watered. I always say that with the aces. You hear a lot of tarot readers say that over and over with the aces. It is what it is. It's an earthly opportunity. You'd have to say yes to it, take advantage of it, and really nurture it and help it to grow. But if you choose to, it can be very profitable down the road. It can be very, and that could mean in terms of financial wealth, but it could also just mean in terms of your physical health. So this could be relocating, or yes, accepting a new job, position, income, means through which you acquire some type of physical resource, or something, some opportunity that gives you more time and energy. Right? So, we hear a lot, and it's true, that your health is your wealth. So it can always be an opportunity like that. But again, it's one that offers you security. If grown, if nurtured, if taken full advantage of, it offers you security. It truly can and will. And the other thing that I already pointed out to you about it is it's likely an offering from the divine in some way, shape, or form. And turned upright like that, it looks to me definitely like it's, showing up in the upright. It definitely looks like an offer that should be, is worthy of you taking advantage of it, is on your path for a reason. And also, the Fool is the clarifier that I got on the more distant future for you. So I think this opportunity leads to this success here by the end of the month or moving into next year, right? And it requires some work still, but it is a brand new beginning that has you full of potential, going on a new adventure, learning something new, experiencing new things, full of curiosity, a childlike spirit, feeling very renewed and fresh again. It's it looks all positive to me. Or possibly, having some sort of success connected to an Aries is possible as well. But again, the signs. And I think you have to absolutely listen to your intuition above all else on this, because we have both the High Priestess and the Magician on the bottom of the clarifier deck. Those are the only two that I really wanted to pull. I think that's where we'll leave that. So, you have all the tools that you need to manifest what it is that you want to manifest. It's a matter of simply deciding, for some of you, for more of you, committing to what that is. But ultimately, you're going to need to listen to your intuition above all else. As always, it's just specifically relevant for you to be reminded of that right now, right? With these physical opportunities, earthly opportunities coming in, and ultimately the precise and impartial truth should be what cuts away the untrue, and patience will likely be required. But I think it's just when you need to be patient with nurturing the seed and with allowing this success to manifest, it is only expectations that you've built up in your mind of how much more quickly your success should be manifesting, and what your success should look like, that might or could make you uncomfortable with this waiting period, this being patient, when in truth, it's probably very necessary for you to continue honing your craft, perhaps continue studying examples, or just to really enjoy the transition between one way of life and the next, with this brand new beginning coming in. That there will be a lot of lessons to be learned on this adventure. There will be a lot of foreign experiences, really, right? It will be all new to you. So that looks like a completely new way of life. Or, for some of you, you'll say it is a new life. Another chance for some of you, I'm feeling. But different for each of you specifically, just probably so brand new that it will be nice to have had that transition period where you experienced fully what was shifting and what was changing, and really beneficial if you take advantage of it instead of hang on to those expectations that it doesn't really meet. And honestly, as I'm saying all that, I don't think you can move forward like that. I think that is really for those of you who are stuck more in this. That might apply to a lot of you who don't like this earthly opportunity coming in, who aren't convinced that it's worthy of growing, when in truth, that attitude is what will keep you in this victim mentality. Being patient with a very worthy opportunity that's simply not what you expected may be what's required to move you forward into the new beginning, to get you out of that feeling of being a victim of your circumstances. You are headed toward a calmer mental and emotional state, and that is ultimately what this is about. But as I said, you will need to deal with a time of great change that for a lot of you looks like a lot of great internal struggle, and seeking balance in order to get to the prosperity that this calmer mental and emotional state is leading you to, right? And I think that's what we're talking about, the seeking balance. Well, a lot of that is because of needing a mourning period. So whomever you've lost to, whatever you've lost, that's led to this mental anguish here, right? This mental stagnation, this internal battle. I think it's doubts, again, and insecurities. Mourn what you've lost. What was it? An embarrassment? Do you feel you've lost time? Is it a version of yourself, a picture of yourself that you've realized it was a little what was less true than you thought it was, right? And you see yourself or your circumstances more clearly. Whatever it is that you're mourning, you know, identify what it is that you've lost, what it is that what would need to be mourned, what is completely out of your grasp now, what has left as a result of this battle, this loss, and mourn it. I think that's a lot of what will be the answer to you seeking balance on the way to that prosperity. That has to be let go of. So for some of you, you need to ask the question, are you just not accepting the loss yet? For others, there's this particular stage of grieving that you are resisting moving through, you don't want to move through. And I think with that energy, with that stagnant, uncomfortable, resistant energy just being removed, let go of, freeing up that space, sort of like unclogging that space in you, that will completely shift your perspective about this earthly opportunity to improve your health/wealth that's wanting to come in. That looks like it's coming in around mid-December-ish. Time being fluid, it's always going to be different for everyone specifically. But if you would like to get more specific, we can always do a personal reading. Just scroll down to the description box below where you can check out all of the information and links on those. Those are probably going to be changing very soon. So if you like those prices and having the readings really categorized by length of reading, this is probably going to be the last month that they are that way. And then I'm sort of shifting things a little, or that's the plan anyway. But check those out. The links are there, the email address is there, etc. Yeah, all the information down below. There's information on the decks that we're using down below as well. So we've got the Game of Thrones tarot here and the Radiant Rider-Waite. So if you're interested in those or any of the decks I use, that's also in the description box. It looks beautiful. You're headed towards success. You have to listen to your intuition. It looks like you are. You know you have all the tools that you need. I think a lot of you are frustrated with the timing element, Sag, that you can manifest whatever it is that you want, and you're in the process of doing so. You're being offered opportunities from the divine to aid you on your way even, and offered opportunities to heal those parts of you that need to be elevated and highlighted and are going to require a lengthy journey in order to heal, right? Along the way to prosperity and success. But some of you are just frustrated that though we can manifest whatever we want, we can't always decide exactly when and how, right? Especially the when part. But you're headed toward calmer mental and emotional states, shared emotional fulfillment, the confidence to defend what it is that you believe in, the work that you're doing that you believe in, the aspects of yourself that you are developing that you believe in, clearing your karma, turning down opportunities that are truly unworthy of you, partnerships that are truly worthy of you, contracts that are truly worthy of you. And the success that we've been looking at, all on this new adventure that this success is affording you. And I think that for I said at the beginning of this, I think that Jupiter is transiting into Capricorn tomorrow. I think that's a lot of this is, you know, your ruling planet transiting into Capricorn. And that is going to be different for you depending on where, you know, how many planets you have in Capricorn and other parts of your chart too, etc. But for a lot of you, that's what this is talking about, is a lot of this reading is talking about the fact that, you know, you are going to see success, but you're going to learn lessons in order to get to that success. And it's not going to look exactly how you thought. It's not going to develop necessarily as quickly or in exactly the way that you thought it was going to, because of needing to learn those lessons that you may not understand why or even how you're learning as it's happening along the way. So yeah, it's going to be success, and so enjoy it. It's just not going to be exactly what you would have painted for yourself or expected for yourself. For a lot of us, not just for Sagittarians. As I said, I think at this time with Jupiter transiting into Capricorn, everyone may be particularly interested in what in where their Jupiter is located, and what Sagittarius energy is doing, and in their chart in particular, right? So that's what I have coming through for you, those of you who identify as Sagittarians. Again, anyone who identifies as Sagittarian. Thank you so much for all of your support to LunarTicksTarot. Also, especially the donations to the channel. Thank you. That link is down below as well. It's truly appreciated. But also the likes, comments, subscribes, messages, emails, shares, orders, all of it. It's all appreciated. And with that, Sagittarius, I think we will leave your first December 2019 reading there. Happy birthday again to Sagittarian sun signs. And let me know, as I said, if you do have a preference about what your second reading is. I normally do a love reading. That might be what we go with. But if someone has a different preference, then yeah, I'm up to shifting it to something else at this time as well. So we can do that. And I will have the other December readings up just as soon as I can. I love you, Sag, and I truly look forward to doing that next reading for you.